All right, welcome back to Real Brothers. We got a special episode coming up for you guys, special guest incoming. We'll pop him down right here next to us. But just on this little intro here, guys, I want to take a second and just, I try to throw a little something different at you each week. And one thing I just want to take a moment to acknowledge is the fact that we're on the week of Veterans Day. So we just had Veterans Day a couple days ago. So I just want to take a moment for myself to just kind of reiterate how thankful I am for our nation's military and the fact that we're able to do simple things like this and hang out. And there's so many people that put themselves in harm's way to give us this ability to do so. So I just can't tell you how thankful I am. And I at least wanted to honor our veterans in some way. So
Yeah, we do appreciate your service and everything you did for the country or currently doing for the country. It's a big sacrifice to make.
absolutely. So guys, stick around here. We'll get right back into business here.
Starring actual real brothers Jason Spivey and his little brother Brandon.
All right, we are back. Again, I always like to kick these off with just a little bit of some kind of broad NFL news. And one thing that Jason and I have been talking about is I don't really know how to classify this, but the way I think about it is the NFL finishers. And it looks like we kind of got some guys separating themselves. And when I think of a finisher, I think of a guy like JT. Obviously, we can have a segment for Jonathan Taylor every week if we wanted to at this point. That's going to be my JT segment this week is the fact that when it's the fourth quarter, you hand the guy the ball and he puts the game away. I'm starting to feel like there's a couple other key players or teams that are also kind of coming up as finishers now, and I think Jason's got a good one for you too.
Well, here lately, being Bears fan, Caleb, he's just been crazy in the fourth quarter. If he's down, if he's up, I think his passer ratings are around 108, 109 in the fourth quarter alone. He seems to play better at that time of the game. Um, Guys like Baker was playing like that early in the season. They can't seem to put it together right now. I don't know if it's the injuries or not, but it seems like Caleb is taking over what Baker was doing there for a while.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like we're kind of ushering in a new kind of plethora of people
Yeah.
that are kind of finishing games and putting games away, whereas it used to be the Derrick Henry or the Aaron Rodgers, the guys who didn't want to have the ball late in their hand or late in the game.
I mean, and Mahomes, he's always at the end going to be there. So,
Exactly.
one of the
So,
guys
but
that you-
another one that stuck out to me was seems like we got a couple of defenses that are whole team units that are kind of stepping up and taking games over
they're
themselves.
winning fantasy games and real life games.
It's kind of incredible.
I mean, Seattle's defense scoring 2 touchdowns. Texans, their defense is what won them.
Oh
the
my
game.
gosh,
It's
I don't
just
even,
crazy.
how does that even happen? But yeah, like it's pretty insane how effective these defenses are.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like them old Baltimore Ravens
Yeah.
defenses that could just win the game by themselves.
Yeah, you could just plug them in and play, and they'd score. I mean, they'd score kind of like a tight end would score, really. So I mean,
And what's crazy about it is like Denver's defense, I think, is just blowing everybody away in sacks, but they're still fantasy value wise is nowhere near those two teams.
kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
It is funny how it works. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of luck, I
Right.
think, and a lot of success, I guess. But anyway, just wanted to kind of talk about that for a second. It is kind of fun to see some people kind of taking games into their own hands and kind of
Yeah.
making things happen. So, all right.
It is that time of the year in the NFL. I mean, if you're going to be a contender, you got to start putting some teams away. You're starting to see divisions separate a little bit, just kind of like in our league, starting to
Yeah.
separate a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how things go. I mean, you got 4 or 5 teams just all log jam at the top of the division, not just the divisions, the conference standing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, every little game matters
I know.
when it comes to those tiebreakers.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it looks like your Bears division is going to be kind of dealing with the same thing, or could be dealing with the same kind of thing that our fantasy league of trying to get a third team into the
Yeah,
playoffs.
Right. Well, what's crazy is, years in the past, there was always that team going 10-0, 12-0.
hmm
I mean, it's like this year, everybody's got at least 2 losses.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, pretty.
there's not that one team just dominating
Yeah.
anymore.
Exactly. So that's our NFL news, guys. Obviously, if you guys ever have anything you want us to talk about, please, we ask you. Nobody ever does it, so that's why we just kind of come out here and wing it. But feel free to drop us a line in our group chat. Let us know if you want something to talk about. Other than that, kind of ready to shift into gears. We'll be right back, guys. All right, we are back. We'll try something a little different this week. I know Jason threw a little game at me last week, so I feel like I'll return the favor. And I think I got a little doozy for you.
All right,
So,
let's go.
You own the rights to Alec Pierce and things.
I do right now.
Okay. You've been long since looking for a trade, looking for a receiver, right?
Yeah, well,
Well, for quite a while. So I want to talk about how good Alec Pierce has actually been this year. And I know that you know that he last year and again this year kind of holds that title of most yards per catch.
for catch.
We're going to take that to the next level,
All right.
and this is going to be yards per game. Okay, so yards per game, Alec Pierce, that's what we're thinking about.
All right.
I'm going to list players. You're just going to tell me over or under. Are they over Alex numbers or under his
All right.
numbers per game?
Let's go.
Okay. First name on the list, Devontae Smith.
Under.
Under? Okay. Next name on the list, Jalen Waddle.
Under.
Under? Okay, you are 2 for 2. All right. Next name on the list, Cortland Sutton.
I'm gonna go over.
Over. Wrong.
Wow. He's had a good
He
year.
has had a good year.
Here.
He's had a very good year. T. Higgins.
T. Higgins. Well, he does put up some yards. He puts up a lot. But I'm gonna go under.
Under. Very
He's had a
good.
bad start to the season.
Yeah. And Lad McConkey.
Started rough, but he has poured it on the past 6 games. I gotta go over with it. Under. All
Under.
unders.
Last one, Devontae Adams.
Monte Adams he's having a great year. He's got to be over.
He is under.
What?
Under. We talked about last week how he lived.
He's gonna come back.
He had that 2-yard touchdown.
But that
repeat.
isn't he like 8th or 9th overall?
He is in scoring,
Oh.
but just to show
2-yard
you how-
touchdowns.
Yeah, it is. But how effective and kind of surprisingly Alec Pierce has been this year.
Well, the crazy thing about Alec Pierce this year is what he's got in points wise has mainly been in yardage and receptions. Because I don't think he has the one catch
Exactly,
for a
and that's
touchdown.
something that I didn't really think about until I started to think back on how many times has he really scored this year. And I couldn't really think of any other touchdowns.
This last
Yeah.
week was his first touchdown.
Exactly. So to think of all the success that you've gotten from him and that it's not been from the end zone, that is pretty impressive. That he's kind of carved out a role.
And to let you in on a little secret here, since I've gotten him, the cost to get a Judkins went up.
Shocker.
I mean, wasn't as desperate for a wideout.
Right. I get it. I mean, when he's putting up numbers like that, then, I mean, I guess it just doesn't lie. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a cool way to kind of incorporate
Yep,
that into
yep,
a
yep.
game. So what you got for me?
All right, I got a list of guys here. It's a long list. I'm sorry for the long list, but a lot of these guys all have something in common. See if you can figure it out. We're gonna start with Josh Jacobs, Drake May, McConkey, Kittle, Danny Dimes is on the list. Keenan Allen, Higgins, guy we just brought up a little bit ago. ETN's on this list. Pacheco's on this list. Loveland's on the list. DJ Moore. What do these guys have in common? There's more on the list, but what do you think them guys all have? No, they're all pretty stellar.
Can you give me
fantasy
the
players.
first couple names again?
Jacobs,
Uh-huh.
Drake May,
Okay.
McConkey, Kittle, Danny Jones, Keenan Allen, Higgins, Monty, Dave Montgomery's on this list. ETN's on the list.
I was gonna go. I don't think it's.
They all have one thing in common. And they've all been pretty solid fantasy players this year, besides that they're solid fantasy
Yeah.
players.
Is it? Is it in relation to where they were last year?
It's in relation to fantasy football this year in our league.
Oh, you know, okay. They have all been owned by March Monstrous.
They have all been owned by Mark Monsters. He has an all-star team, and he sucks.
Yes, how did I get that? That is crazy.
That's a crazy list that he has had this year. And he's got a couple, 3 wins?
Wow, that is crazy. That's funny.
Good job on that one, man.
Man.
I was wondering if you're gonna get there.
Well, I mean, honestly, the Drake May threw me off, so that's what brought me back. It's got to be something to do with fantasy
Drake,
football.
Jones and Drake.
Yeah, because I'm like, all right.
So I thought about not telling you both of them.
Yeah, and that probably would have done the deal, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know, man. I think I just kind of lucked
But
into it.
that's crazy that he's had every one of them on his team this year.
Isn't that something? Sorry, Mark. Sorry, not sorry.
You got guys that could win.
Right.
Maybe it's that whole toxic ownership thing we were talking about last night.
Maybe he wanted to watch those players in the fantasy playoffs, so he felt like he was still part of it when he's
I think
eliminated.
the group chat's toxic ownership.
Yeah.
That might be what it was.
Oh, I got you.
You know, they all leave and flourish other places.
I was wondering why he was pretty quiet during that conversation.
I knew he was going to be on the show, I guess.
Right. Hilarious. All right. Well, that was a good one, man. Two good little
Yep.
kind of trivia there. I like it.
Who'd have thunk it, right?
No, I didn't. All right. We'll be back in a few.
Start wrapping up some games.
All right, guys. Welcome back. Obviously, we got a new and special guest on set, live and in person. Everybody say hello to owner of Bedtime, Donnie.
Coming out of bed to hang out with you guys.
Good to meet you. I'm Jason.
Love this guy.
Hey, guys, feel free to fire up that group chat real quick while Donnie's here. He won't complain at you for being up too late.
That's right.
But we better start burning through these games because, you know, he does have to go to bed here in a minute.
The wife will be calling soon.
We'll get going right away with motorboaters. Coming off that huge week the week before.
Yep.
Followed that thing up with a 91.
No,
What?
point win.
But you won.
That's right.
That's all that matters.
Not much to say about it other than the fact that I won, and I needed the win.
Yeah. Good performance out of your running backs, considering where you got them guys from. I think you got 33 points from the combined effort there. Waiver wire pickups. over
Yeah,
the
I
year.
mean, it's
You
just
gotta be
kinda-
happy with that.
Patchwork, just making it happen, Captain, you know? Like the same thing we talk about everybody should be doing. Somehow, the guys that are 9, 10, 11, 12 in the waiver wire each week are the ones
That's
that
up
awesome
everybody.
on the free agent.
And then
list.
some people just bunk into McConkey.
Yeah. Yeah, go figure.
But anyway, one big question though is I don't know if you've seen how Adams come up with that back problem on a non-contact play.
Mhm.
Does that worry you any?
I mean, I worry every week.
You're
just
to it
picking
by
a
now.
player.
You're used to it by now.
Yeah.
They all get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's just,
That's
I'm
been your one guy that's been consistent.
he has been. I mean, like, I think he's up in the top 10 at least now, maybe 8 as far as receivers go. So he's definitely probably carrying me at this point in the season. If I lost him, gosh, it'd be a quick exit.
Yeah, I was waiting on that counter trade with Adams that you spoke about, but never heard one. So kudos to you, and I hope he carries you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to kind of hold on. Like, sometimes I feel like it can go both ways, kind of trying to bring in players, trying to turn one player into two. A lot of times you end up making yourself worse. And I'm bad enough the way it is, so I feel like I don't want to do myself any worse.
No.
But on the other hand, Mark's team, hey, you're not officially mathematically eliminated, but you're done.
You're done.
Yeah, I mean, I got him as, he's on the unofficially eliminated list, and we got a couple that showed up there this
We got
week.
some
so-
officials, but that's an unofficial right there. I
Yeah.
think 8 losses, it's too much.
Yeah.
I read that nice list of all them nice players he's had all year. He shows he was active. He tried.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he had, just kind of held on to that initial squad, if he would have been able to do anything with it.
Yeah, that initial squad, if you go back and look at it, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I did go back and look at that today. But he fell behind and started trying to do anything he could to get the rebound.
Yeah, but I feel like he's at least figuring it out as the course of the season went on, and feel like he's going to be better for it next year.
But still, he never put Drake May back on.
This is the week.
He's got to.
Now that he's eliminated.
He's got to. Finally going to listen to me.
And bye-bye.
Yeah, well, I'll take it as a win for me anyway.
Hey, I'll take Drake Maiden in a
You don't want
trade.
him.
I'll take him in a trade
That's what I
right
kept
now.
saying.
Many
He's
people
trading.
With my quarterbacks right now.
But speaking as a win for you, let's go ahead and move on to that next game on the list, which was you as Short Bus Driver versus Beats by Ray. And officially ending the season for Beats by Ray as far as playoff hopes go. You'll even see the E decal there next to his name on our
You're
scoreboard
welcome.
or league standings or whatever. So he is officially eliminated now. But the big win there, 145 to 110. This one was pretty much chalk, about like what we expected.
Big win.
It was. Gibbs being Gibbs, I mean, we've talked about that. I think we talked about it the week before about how
He's had a couple down games.
Yeah,
there for
and
2
you
weeks,
just
so
kinda
he was
knew.
due to rebound.
you kind of knew it was. Obviously, what we talked about earlier in the show, you guys that are watching to this point, you will have seen that what we talked about with Alec Pierce. Donnie, you didn't get to talk about or didn't get to see that, so you'll have to see that as we air the episode. But it's going to be a little bit surprising when you hear the Alec Pierce stats that we threw out of the game a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So
Crazy
So,
is, I think, going along with those stats, he's gonna get that contract this year.
I think so
And
too.
that was a big put in with Pierce. I was like, man, Pierce having a good game, and I look on there and I'm like, sure.
Question is, if the
Short
Colts
bus
won't play
driver.
Right. So I
Helping
know
them wide receivers.
I know Scott was pretty fired up on this game with Beats leaving that guy in there in a bye week. It's the second time doing so. It's so weird to me, and I'd love to get maybe a little feedback from Tim if you're listening or watching this. Feel free to drop in the group chat. It's I'm befuddled in the fact that you're active in the group chat,
But don't set the line.
but don't set your lineup.
It's crazy.
I don't understand it. So please explain.
Yeah.
Other than that, though,
Not that it mattered, but at the end
yeah,
of the day, it's like,
he had some guys doing some things. So didn't say everybody responded from that 0 point the week before with a 20 spot.
Yeah.
Obviously Stafford is being Matt Stafford, and just a little stat on Matt Stafford over his last 6 games, I believe it is, 20 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, first player in NFL history to ever do so.
Exactly.
yeah, he's, I know we talked about JT in that MVP race, but that's probably the other guy in that race with him.
Yeah, I would agree. Him and then Drake May, which we talked
Drake
about
May
as well
also.
in the game that I just did. So yeah, but Stafford's up to 7 in the fantasy rankings as far as quarterback position goes. But talk about a guy who just never seems to age. He almost seems to be getting better. I mean, he just flings that ball around.
But that's an offense too that still relies on the running game, so it's not like that's all they're doing out there. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So other than that, though, big win for you again. It's what we expected. It just kind of keeps you rocking and rolling. It's going to be an interesting little conversation when we get to talk about power rankings, which for some reason we didn't do it at the start of this, but we'll mix it in here in between. It'll be kind of fun to get Donnie's little input as we start to drop those lists as well. But I might surprise you a little bit on that. But good win on that 145-110.
we'll be right back to check into the next one.
Right.
All right, guys, welcome back. Let's jump right into that next game. I got JJ's Masterclass coming off of putting the trade in before the week, but the trade didn't go through till after the week
I
against
still
Twin
want to know.
Bowers.
I still want to know, like, on that trade. I really want to know more for the Battle Buster side of it than JJ's, although I feel like they were kind of both in the same boat anyway. But like, did they go into it thinking it was going to process for the weekend? Did they realize Cortland Sutton shut that deal down to happen?
It almost acted like they knew it
And that, or did that
and waited. Hey, I want him for one more week, and then we'll make it happen.
Yeah. And so then again, I mean, it gets to the questions I have for Battle again with him being so close to that cutoff as far as elimination. Just kind of wondering what their timing is there. And
I mean, can you think about it? Did Atlanta go on bye week too after that Germany game?
no,
Yes.
So
yes,
that might be
yes,
his
yes,
thinking
yes,
is, I want him
yes.
here.
And
I'm
then
trading him away for
yes.
the bye
trade him a
week.
week, and he's got to sit a week without
So
him.
that
Yeah,
might be a pretty good move
yeah,
on it.
might very well be. We'll see how JJ responds this week with Bijan Robinson. If he's not on the field, obviously due to a bye week, we'll see how he's able to respond not having Josh Allen. But anyway, back to the game.
Back to the game though, Twin Bowers took it on the chin on this one, 108-96. Not a real exciting game at all. I know Twin was without CeeDee Lamb, one of his heavy hitters. Should have some pretty solid wideouts, but them guys didn't help him out at all this week.
No, and that's one of those, where even Drew knew he was beat before he got into Monday night there with Devontae
Bowers.
Smith as who played
Oh,
Monday
yeah.
night. And, it was reachable. I mean, he only needed, I don't want to say only, but he needed like 27, and
Mhm.
Smith has done that within the last 3 weeks, I think.
Mhm.
And he was the only person who did anything in the freaking
Exactly.
entire game was
Yeah.
Devontae Smith.
Scored
if
a
you watched that
touchdown,
game.
yeah.
So, yeah. But I think it was more about, the no CD bye week, just kind of a cataclysm of just bad luck for Drew, really. He kind of had an opportunity to maybe steal one there, and he just didn't have enough in the tank.
Well, I think Drew's bad luck was Bowers and Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because those are the guys he's kind of built the
Yeah, that
team
game was
around.
horrible.
Exactly.
And, you know, Bowers backs up his welcome back week with a one catch performance. And then, yeah, I'm kind of, me and Jason were talking about this. I'm glad you brought up Bo Nix. And I think I threw it in the group chat last night. I'm starting to think, and I'm starting to see a comparison there to Jordan Love with they just,
Up and
they
down,
they
up
can
and
be a
down.
good team, but still have these up and down weeks in fantasy where they
And you
just
said
don't get
that.
anything from it.
And you said that
He's
in
one of
the
those
group
guys
chat.
that almost needs to be behind to play well.
Yeah.
You know, he's almost reminding you of Love. Now, I read something today. I was telling these guys earlier. My problem is I'm in 4 leagues, and I was reading up on some stuff, and I heard today that don't be surprised if Denver moves on from Bo Nix.
Peyton's pretty particular when it comes to how he runs his offense, and maybe
Exactly
Nix is
right.
not that fit for him.
Yeah,
Exactly
maybe just
right.
need the body of work to be able to kind of figure out what he can and can't do. And I don't know. It's odd to say the least because, you know, if that's the case, we could very well be looking at another one of these situations what we talk about with all these guys that flame out with one team and go find success
I have
somewhere.
a feeling there's going to be a little shuffle at the end of the year on all
Mhm.
these quarterbacks.
Finding
Just
their
all
landing spots.
recycling.
Yeah.
Could he be another Sam Darnold? Could
Exactly.
he be another Daniel Jones?
I think there's a lot
In
of
a
teams out
different
there.
situation.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
Exactly.
teams out there that would like to have a player like Bo Nix on there.
You know,
Back-
the thing. Yeah.
But
go
getting
ahead.
back to the game here, though, I got an interesting stat line for JJ's masterclass. You know, he kept JJ, obviously a top tier receiver.
Been trying to get him every
His
week.
top receiver this year has been averaging 18.25 points a game,
Good stat.
and it's not JJ.
I know it's not.
It's Olave, isn't it?
JJ's only at 12 points a game.
It is Chris Olave.
It is Chris Olave.
Very good stat. And I want to one up that stat with another stat. So we can all agree that Ibuka has been an incredible bright spot for the Tampa Bay Bucks in his rookie season. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. Kudos, Braden.
You remember when he went out and Tez Johnson came in? And I know I talked about it in those videos about it. The thing with Tampa Bay is they have so many weapons.
Next man up.
Is the ball gets spread out so much, is there going to be some consistency issues? I want to throw out a couple numbers at you because I went through and did the math. Over each of their last 5 games, Ibuka is averaging 10.75 over his last 5 games, Braden. Tez Johnson, a guy who sits on JJ's bench and has never started in our fantasy league over his last 5 games, averaging 14.25 fantasy points per game. That's a 4-point
stats.
difference. That's pretty substantial when you're talking about what you think Ibuka's doing this year.
The thing about Ibuka, it was just
The flash
so
in the pan.
early, right away, big numbers, and then it kind of
Mhm.
came back to reality as solid
Well,
numbers.
you got to think there was no Mike Evans.
Yeah.
There was no
There's always
Godwin.
somebody.
Godwin.
Yeah.
Which makes, but back to what we are talking about now, how Twin Bowers on the other side, he kind of drops down to that 8 seed.
And this is going to
He's
affect
got
his
a
power rankings.
really, really tough schedule ahead of him. You know, where does he fit in the playoff picture, or does he?
Well, I mean, let me just answer question with a question. Maybe this will just kind of put it right out there. I play Twin this week.
Yes, sir.
If I beat Twin, is he out?
I mean, you got to
Yes.
think about this. He got to go through you, and then he's got to go through Big Fish, and then he got to come to the bus bar. He's got to probably win out or go 3-1.
Mm-hmm. We can guess all we want, but if he loses this week, there's nothing else to guess about. He's out.
And it's interesting, these two played each other this week, and these are the two guys that we've had moving up and down
Up
all
and down,
year
yeah,
long in our
yeah.
power ring. And here they are moving up and down again.
All right, moving on here. We got Big Fish versus Battle. Big game, 114 to 112, and this was a really good
Did you
game.
see that on Monday night?
But that's what I wanted to kind of start with was how the game ended.
Exactly.
Wow. He only
Right.
needs 2 points out of a kicker.
And at halftime, he still had a 0.
Nothing.
Exactly.
And gets 4.
I think Dan had to stay up late that night, didn't he?
You know, I think this is kind of one of those games where it's not the first time Dan has won one of these games late in Monday night.
Yeah.
And it was against me when he did it in the 4th quarter.
He's
You know, he's just
Twice this
kind of,
year. 3 times this year.
I mean, sometimes better be lucky and good. And I think Dan might be doing a little bit of both.
Right.
But I kind of want to talk about Big Fish for a second. He's dead implanted in the middle of our playoff race. He's going to be a playoff team. I think we can all agree on.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. I feel like Dan specifically has fleeced everyone in our league on the free agent list
Mhm.
on the waiver wire. I didn't really do much research into who he's been picking up and what's been going on. But if these numbers hold out and where they're kind of where these guys are projecting to go later on in the season, Dan could have that team in the playoffs whenever you guys are losing players to injuries or, they're not playing guys because they're out of the playoffs and they're resting guys, this, that, and the other. And you got Dan playing guys you've never heard of and they're beating you because he's found them at the right time.
Yeah.
So I just want to give a couple of the names of the guys that I feel like he's got. Parker Washington, okay, is a guy out of Jacksonville who fills in for Travis Hunter. It's a great move and it's so
Brian Thomas was out. Travis Hunter
Yeah.
was out. I made that same move in another league, which panned out good because he come in and performed.
35 points over his last 2
And
games.
that was just paying attention to what the team was doing and what they needed
Mhm.
and going in and making the move.
Travion Henderson, the running back for the New England
You
Patriots.
drafted him.
And but the fact I think he's dropping and had to re-pick him up.
He may have, but
I
I knew
think-
that he was a draft pick.
And what I like about that is, if you seen what happened last week, Ramondre Stevenson has just never really gotten his legs going this year.
Well,
He's out last
he's
week.
been out for the past couple weeks.
But is this going to be a situation where he just steals the starting job? Henderson's
he
a
may
rookie.
have
They
because
draft him for a reason.
if
He
you pay
comes on the
attention to
field.
that situation, they kept asking, when are they going to put him in? And Stevenson got hurt. The next guy got hurt. And they kept going, when are you going to put him in? When are you going to put him in? He waited his turn, got it, and exploded.
Lightning in a bottle, man. And I mean, and you're talking about maybe one of the top 3 teams in the NFL right now. So I could see this being a situation where Ramondre Stevenson just may have been hurt out of a starting job.
But he was one of those guys draft day that was higher on more people's boards than, say, like an R.J. Harvey. He was a top, as far as running back goes in the draft. I mean, he played at Ohio State last year.
Right.
So, he was on pretty much everybody's draft board.
Yeah, it's just, again, I feel like Dan's done a lot of good things.
Yeah. You got Rico that he pulled up out.
Yeah, the Rico move, obviously, Rico's, we were talking off air, I do believe, I don't think it's made it on camera yet, but just more and more numbers, Rico Dowdle is 9th in fantasy at running back.
And
Derrick Henry is 16th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Dan doesn't even realize who his best running back is. I'm sure he does, but you know
Dowdle
what I'm saying.
is above a lot, just not Henry, but he's above a lot more running backs that.
Better.
You got to remember
Nice.
his first couple games. I don't even know that he played much.
No.
No.
I think it was not till the Chuba injury
Yep.
that he came in and shined.
Right. So
Now he
just
took the ball and ran with it.
hats off to Big Fish. I mean, a big win there. I know Battles made the trade.
But it might be too little too late.
I'm starting to think it could be, but he's only sitting at 6 losses. I could see a backdoor scenario where a 7-loss team makes the playoffs, and we could be looking at a Battle Buster, Twin, JJ's all sitting kind of right there at 7 and 7.
Yeah,
So we'd be-
Tommy.
I think you might get up to that 8th win. I think you might hit your 8th win before I would be eligible to hit my number. I have a feeling. That's my prediction.
But great win there, Big Fish. He keeps reeling them in.
I mean, that's what he has to. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's just squeaked by and won a game late. And
Hey, you only
in the
gotta win by
season,
one.
exactly. All you're gonna look at is wins and losses.
That's right.
Good job, Dan.
And we'll get into the Team Johnson versus Bedtime
Might as well go ahead and do this game before we get to the game of the week,
before we get to bedtime.
quote unquote.
Before bedtime really
Bedtime really kicks in, right? Yeah, you're right. 3:30 a.m. does kind of.
But Bedtime gets that 123-88 win. Not much of a game, not much of competition there.
Well, hold on. I just had something flash in my head.
So
That's right. I think. Yeah.
we both called the upset.
You both called the upset.
Yeah. That's
Both called the upset. No faith in your
I
bedtime,
still don't
grouchy
have
old
faith.
man.
I still haven't faith in you.
Yeah.
I know. It
I
is
mean,
what it is. I love these
actually
guys.
think I think Lad McConkey's saving you right now.
I still can't get over that he was on the waiver. And,
Well, yeah.
and looking back at that video, he's like,
Should have never been on the waiver.
should have never been on the waivers, what this guy said. And I'm like, no, he shouldn't have. And Mark, you're usually the guy grabbing everybody off the waiver. Kind of glad I got him when I needed
Yeah, I
him.
think that was, you know,
What's crazy is because
done
you've always
really.
been around that 6-7 mark on the waivers. How many
Yes, sir. Passed on him.
ignored that one?
I mean, it's just, you know, activity means something.
Paying attention.
Yeah, it's what I talked about a couple episodes ago, though. It's not just paying attention to who you want to pick up. It's paying attention after all the transactions happen to see who got dropped.
Yes.
That's
you
when-
have to drop
That's
because
when
you wanted
yes,
that guy.
and that's when who you happen to drop because of bye weeks. That's when some of these guys are fleecing
Exactly.
us. That's how Braden got that Seattle defense.
Exactly.
He got him on Wednesday afternoon or whatever it was,
Yep.
Thursday. So again, that's what it's going to take. Big time win for bedtime there. I really feel like that was a must win for you
It really was.
because I felt like it would put you behind. I feel like all Drew needs is an opportunity. I feel like he missed it last week. You keeping that separation, I think, may have just kind of cemented your fate. I feel like it does. In my mind, put your percentages into the playoffs around 80%. It probably drops Drew's more like 45.
I'm on a 3-game winning streak. And if you look at my schedule, looks pretty good.
Well, you know you got
Play the right players at the right time, and I could probably take Braden at the last week and take the division. After starting 3-0, dropping. That's my prediction.
You hear that, Braden? You're going down.
Couldn't wait until this game. Look at this guy over here. I love him. I love this guy. He's a brother
What
from
is in
another
there,
mother.
dude?
I don't know.
Take a look at my remaining schedule.
Did you have a gas can open over there?
It's empty, guys.
Is
Now you know where it went.
that what he was doing? Is
Started.
that what he was doing when we thought he was eating? Was he over there huffing that gas can?
No, I'm just saying. Just saying. Look
Hey,
at my remaining
I know what it
schedule.
is. Bedtime was 20 minutes ago and he's dreaming.
Oh gosh, got me there.
I don't know.
So you guys don't like my you guys do or don't like
Hey.
my remaining schedule?
I don't like
You
your.
got to go through Braden. That's going to be a tough.
That's the last game.
My problem is honestly Don,
Deciding game.
It's after Saquon and Josh Jacobs. I just start to question a lot of things. I mean,
Well, McConkey's solid.
Can I get a quarterback from somebody,
that's
please?
that's question
And-
one.
and
yes,
the thing is,
yes,
J.J.
it is.
McCarthy is your starting
And he
quarterback.
said it
Not
tied
now.
in.
Not now. I just picked up. I picked up who I've been picking up every time Daniels is out. Marcus Mariota, back up for Daniels. He's
Okay.
had one bad start. Now the 3 starts that he's had. So
So how do you pick which tight end to play?
I don't look at that. I
He's
really
got so
don't.
many of them.
I really don't look at that. When I get down to my flex, like he says, he analyzes games, and by the time he gets down to it, it's that flex position.
Right?
If I have to have a tight end to go in that flex position, I have a decent or mediocre tight
Can
end.
I ask you a question?
I love this guy.
So how many teams do we have in this league, Jason?
12.
12. How many starting receiver spots do we have?
2.
2. So that should mean that the top 24 receivers are automatic starts, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Should be.
Does anybody know who the 20th ranked receiver is?
Not a clue.
It is Stephon Diggs, a guy who's maybe seen his lineup once, maybe
3
twice,
times.
3 times. So let's
In
talk
between
about
him
how
and
good you're
Harrison.
doing, but you don't
See
even
how it
play.
went.
What
See
you
how
got?
it went. When I played Diggs, he scored high. When I played Harrison scored high, and Diggs didn't. So it's those 2 receivers. Now I'm
Yeah.
really
I got
skipped it
advice
on
for you.
Flowers.
I got advice for you this week. Sit on.
But no, I mean, I do. I think you have a good, I mean, with Diggs doing what he's doing, obviously with Javonte Williams
Diggs is
having the
coming out.
season he has, putting him in that flex to go with Jake. I mean, the Jacobs trade, again, though, how bad is the quarterback situation going to hurt you? And how bad is it going to, or how long is it going to take before you fuck yourself on the tight end problem?
But I will tell you, he has a team built like mine. It's built heavy at the running back. If you get something out of your receivers, it's a positive. You know, just all you got to do is get to the game and have a chance to win it.
One more thing before we go. Johnson, take my trade. I'll take Patrick. Take my trade.
I do feel like Johnson is a trade away, especially now that his season's pretty much on the brink, pretty much over. So I would anticipate a move from you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I would think that trade would probably need to include somebody that he might think about keeping next year.
Involves
Correct.
one of my tight ends.
Yeah, that's what he's done.
He's already had Kelsey for the past 7 years.
Yeah.
That ain't who I put in there. It hurts.
So moving on, I know Ball. Wow.
Big game, big game.
Wow.
Did that get him that $50 payout?
I mean, it very well may have, because I tried to go back, and this was actually before he put the 200 up. I actually went back to I was going back in our league history. I was trying to pull up the schedule from last year. I can't find it, but because I wanted to see, I feel like it's a down scoring year.
Overall,
Really?
Yes.
overall, a lot more at 100 and less.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot more wins around that 115 to 125. And I
Yep.
felt like last year we were winning around 150, and I felt like there were some big. So I wasn't able to pull up the schedule, but one thing I was able to see is Braden actually put up 200 on the game last year too.
I think that was against me.
It probably was. It was like it did show me like 2 games. One was the biggest blowout, so that was probably you.
It was me.
But I mean, rocking and rolling up and down that
Rules
road.
guy.
But yeah, huge game. You just start with JT right out the gate. 60 points.
I mean,
But he had the
MVP.
match. He had the
MVP.
answer.
If he did have the answer with 43, was it 43 out of 8?
43 out of 8. And real quick before we move on down to some other players, I do want to give Scott props. And Achan is 3rd in fantasy scoring overall.
Yes.
Overall.
Yeah. So yeah. So while we've talked about he's been having a pretty good season, I don't think we've even realized how good of a season he's actually having. But 3rd
Achan's only-
overall.
I would like to see where he was before the week.
Before the
With
43, I
the
would
Giant
too.
game
Yeah.
like that.
So, but just real interesting. I thought that one kind of jumped out at me. But go ahead and move on.
But yeah, 43 out of 8 Shane. But that 60, I went back and looked, thinking, okay, how many games can top that game? And there actually are several games that top it, believe it or not. I think the best game I actually did see was the Jerry Rice game that takes the top overall.
Is that right?
Yeah, 5 touchdowns, 200 some
Yeah.
odd yards. I mean, just a
You're going way
monster
back.
game.
Yeah, that was a good game.
But
Yeah, 'cause I think some people on ESPN have even done that where they went back before fantasy football started and actually done some best.
But
games
a
ever.
crazy thing about the JT game, if you guys remember back in 2021, he had a 5 touchdown game.
Yeah.
And I believe this game actually might have been 1-2 points better
Really?
fantasy wise. Because of the bonus points that we do now and the extra per carries.
Good for the extra 5
Because that game you only had 1 catch in.
Yeah, and just
So-
to put that into perspective, because Zakaya is playing, I'm teaching him to play fantasy football, so he's in a standard free fantasy league on ESPN,
Mm-hmm.
and so he has JT. So I got to see the default scoring for JT was 43 in that, or 48 in that game.
That based on the 25 points a yard and touchdowns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
wow.
no carry bonuses, or
And no
anything like-
points per
no
reception.
no 100-yard bonus.
No
There is a PPR though.
PPR right there.
But anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
So yeah, I mean, it's somebody
oddly
that's actually
enough-
put up a pretty good performance before.
Braden could have done better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're not going to pull Lamar Jackson out,
No.
but we have talked about how good Jackson Dart has
27, 24
been, averaging
points.
24 points
Yeah,
a
I
game
mean-
in all the games that he started.
I mean,
did
he even
not let
offered
that-
me a
he-
trade.
Even before he got hurt, he put up 26. So Lamar Jackson put up 17. And these are the issues you'll have with Lamar Jackson. He is great when he's great. You talked about the fact that they have Derrick Henry for starters. I still feel like they're a little bit of a kind of up and down team in general offensively.
Well, I don't think they're a 40-point game kind of offense. So I mean, they're going to try to hold you down defense and just barely beat you.
Look what he did his first game back. 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I mean, so
mean,
obviously,
Second
But I
game
will
back,
say
he tried to get in the
17.
run into it.
A bad game for Lamar 17.
Yeah.
A bad game, some other quarterbacks are scoring 8.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean, you look at Sam Darnold. I think he scored 9 on the week.
Yes.
yeah.
So,
So,
I mean,
but it's going to start to, things are going to start to take shape here. Obviously, Vidal had the 25 carries in that game on Braden's bench. I'm sure that could have upgraded in a position somewhere. That's not really the point of this. What it is the depth of Braden is going to be put to the test here upcoming with Taylor being on a bye. Now he's got to play kind of a wonky running back set. It's going to kind of bring to light some of the questions I've had in his lineup. So I'm really anxious to see how the depth continues to move forward as we kind of.
But ain't there a clearance there that Irvin's not coming back this week?
He
And
practiced,
White
practiced
and-
yesterday and today.
Huh?
He practiced yesterday and today.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
They
That's
were
what
they
I'm
were
just-
trying to bring him back last week, which was after their bye week.
Yeah.
He cleared the IR part of it.
Mhm.
He just didn't practice. They didn't play him, but he didn't practice on Wednesday. He did on Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
So that's pretty promising. I think Godwin even practiced with him too.
Okay.
So you never know what that team could turn into.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
One thing about him when you brought up Vidal that I wondered, Omarion Hampton is probably 2 to 3 weeks from coming back, and you're talking about crunch time.
And
for-
this is the old. I mean, this is the exact
Is he
reason why
relying
I've
on a
always
Vidal?
called Braden questionable.
Yeah.
It's not about the regular season. It's those last 3 weeks of our playoffs. Whenever teams are relying on guy or getting guys back that are costing Braden his players that he's been able to benefit from those injuries.
Right.
The Rashad White, the
Bucky comes
Vidal that he's
back.
been- yes,
Omarion comes
Mhm.
back. Godwin comes back when you're talking about like Buka.
yeah,
I mean, so
exactly.
he's got a lot
Yeah,
of
to
like.
mix in with the
I-
fact that Bucky's back too. You know.
I don't think Godwin's gonna step in and
No, but
push too much
But
of
if
the
you
numbers
take-
from Ibaka. But
if you take 3 or 4 targets away from him, what does that translate into?
that's true.
Put
That's
the whole
true.
picture together. The numbers I just talked about with Tez Johnson
That's
over the
true.
last
And
5
you gotta
years.
remember, too-
Johnson, yes.
Rashad White don't catch passes. Bucky catches 4 or 5 a
Exactly.
game. So there's maybe even a few less targets.
That's what I mean. Like when
Mhm.
you look at the end of the game for Bucky or for Baker Mayfield, the pass numbers are going to be the same. The distribution is what's going to be different.
He don't care who he throws it to. He's not looking for one particular guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there are plays that are designed for one guy, but he's just looking for that open guy.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Another thing was, the rich get richer though with Braden is big game from Trey McBride, as usual, but it actually vaulted Trey McBride back up to that #1 spot.
Yep.
With I think taking advantage of first and being on that bye week.
Yeah.
And having that goose egg the week before
Mhm.
that.
And this is, I think, is this
But-
Trey's bye week this week or no?
No, they're playing this week, but it'd be interesting with them because with Marvin being out, how much more? I mean, he already garnered a lot of attention, but now you can maybe even shadow him with another guy.
McBride's about the only one left, ain't it?
I mean, why not have 3 guys on him if that's the only guy on their
You've
offense?
lost 3 running backs. You've lost
A quarterback,
wide receiver. I mean, the only one left is McBride. And
But kind
You're
of,
gonna
at
be
what
running
point does it
around.
get into a season though where you start to protect your players from a season?
Yeah.
You know what I
Sure.
mean? Again, we talk about these last 3 weeks, and these are, again, we're speculating on things that we don't really need to
Right.
speculate on yet with Braden. He is rocking and rolling right now, dude, and 200 points says the story.
yes, sir.
But even to look at Scott there, putting up the number he put up. I mean, that was an impressive number he put on. But what did he end up getting out of that, Brandon?
An L.
The new highest points loser.
Loss.
You gonna pass that trophy along to him?
Mm.
Man, I could give a
He has
shit
to.
less if he-
He has to, don't he? What was yours? 141 or something like
Yeah.
that?
As
Yeah.
much shit as he gave you, that's all you got on
Yeah,
that?
man, that's,
Me?
like I know
Scotty.
100% I know that's why Scott ain't said shit since he lost because he can't say anything because he talks shit about me saying something.
And here
So-
yet, I'm still up and
Anyway.
not seeing anything on the group chat on this one.
The 2 things though that do stick out to me is for Scott on that game though, as far as kind of an attaboy for being able to put up that kind of points, is that 2 single-digit scores
I know.
and
Yes.
still put up 160 plus.
Yes.
I mean that is
Yes.
impressive.
Right.
But I want to talk about Brees Hall, and Brees Hall has been phenomenal.
At least the last
I don't think
5
it's been the
weeks he
full
has.
season.
I think it's last
Lately,
4
it has
weeks,
been,
5
yeah.
weeks.
But I'm really anxious to see what happens as we move forward because this is a great week to see how effective Brees Hall really is because they're playing the #1 pass or rush defense this week, and Scott's in another game that I feel like is he playing?
I think Brees Hall.
Is he playing you?
I think Brees Hall is looking for a new home.
I got burned.
So he's gonna play. I think Brees Hall's looking for a new home. So he's gonna play out his mind.
Well,
Really
man,
do.
I'm sure. I think Scott needs it because I do feel like there's a little bit of a wall there with Genty,
Yeah.
where Genty's good, but he
Well,
just kind of
I
maxes
think
out the same
Scott's.
pretty much.
I
every
think
week.
Scott's
Yes.
going to end up in that who do I play decision.
Yeah, and I could
Looking
start to
at
see
matchups
Brees
and-
Hall being put in the running back position, and then you start to see Genty maybe falling into that
In that
flex,
flex,
and
yeah.
then maybe even bouncing in and out
Yeah,
of that lineup
yeah.
the rest of the way. But it's going to be really interesting to see because I feel like as good as Scott's team is, and obviously he's good to be able to put up that kind of points with a couple single digits there. But I feel like it's going to all be decision making this point.
Yeah, he's going to get into that mode where it's going to be tough decisions, and you're playing matchups, and then you're also thinking, I'm using, sometimes that Jets offense could just put up an egg. Sometimes that Raiders offense will just put up an egg. It's like,
And the Dolphins too. You remember getting
Dolphins
Achan
too.
and Waddle. We're talking about Achan's 40 whatever, and then obviously with Waddle who did score as well and got like a 19. Well, that was a hell of a game for the Dolphins. Everybody's happy, everybody's
That was
glorious,
like them
nobody's
playing
got
out of their
anything.
mind.
And they're going to keep their coach
I mean,
again
like,
this week.
all of a sudden everything's just right in Miami. Okay, well let's see what happens this week because it's probably going to be right back to healthy.
no, it was Buffalo. That was their Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
you gotta take it for what it is, but HN is ranked number 3 overall.
Yes.
So his value's there.
Yep.
I question some of, like you talk about some of the other guys, especially some of those Jets. They're gonna bottom out and probably do a complete rebuild here real soon. So how's their rest of the season gonna look? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. He's obviously number 2 on our power rankings for a reason. I think he stays right there even after a loss.
Yeah, ain't no way.
I mean,
about that.
You put up 168 and you lose to 201. How are you going to drop in the power rankings? I mean,
we can do it if we want to.
I know you guys could,
We're the ones
but-
running the show.
I'm
but
concerned.
Scott's got a good team,
I almost
and
did.
you got to keep him there.
I felt like dropping him just out of spite.
Well, we've done that to people
I
before.
love you.
But no, really though, I mean, I can't say enough about where Braden's team is right now. I'm gonna ride it while it's
Obviously in a
while it's
good
hot.
spot.
Yeah. And I wanna give him his kudos because I have a feeling we're gonna be having a different conversation in a matter of weeks. Maybe I'm wrong, but hopefully I'm drawing back to this.
One quick question: 201 getting the $50?
I think 201 probably just won $50.
Yeah, I know.
I agree.
I don't see any I don't see it being teased enough.
Yeah.
180. It's
Well,
not.
I think we hit the 190. Did we get it?
I believe we were still at 179.
I think it was at 179. It was.
It might be.
No.
I thought we got, so he just blew it out by over 20 points.
If it was at 170.
And even if it was in 180, I mean, you're still like, that was
20
one
points.
outlier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see enough consistent big scoring.
Right.
So yeah, I think he just won $50.
The big win by I know ball, but his days are over.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see him winning a championship, but I just don't know how they can win.
Hey, you just paid for your season.
He ain't paid shit. Speaking of which, next year, if you ain't paid by playoffs, you ain't eligible.
Hey,
It's 2 years in a row, Braden Coffee.
and
Braden,
mom's not paying for it.
Braden, if it takes this long to pay, it takes that long to pay out.
Exactly. I like
is-
the way you think
Because
sometimes.
Braden is the one who will. The day after he wins championship, where's that money?
Yeah.
Like, where was the money when day one? When you,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's wherever your money was.
Exactly.
bud.
You know, I
So
mean, if
he's-
you'd have traded me Jackson, I probably would have paid for it for you. But
Mhm.
it is what it is.
Right. So anyway, that's the games from last week. We're going to jump back in here in just a second, take a little break, kind of reset here. We'll go power rankings, preview the next week. We'll keep it short, guys. We'll be right back.
Right on.
Appreciate it.
Sponsored by Cat Cod. Kind of like Kit Kat, but it's not.